All right, so what we'll do is we'll do Rev's other video about what may be the third part of this trilogy of shit in gaming. Because apparently Marathon did a demo and it did not go well. It did not go well at all. So let us check out what is very possible, the third in a trilogy of dumpster fires in gaming. Shall we?
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be talking about the early fate of Marathon, the extraction shooter that was going to revamp the entire medium, the game that was going to own the chuds. And despite all of the copium that has existed about this game for the last 2 years from shills and games journalists, well, it turns out this is in fact a complete disaster. In fact, with the release of the free demo of this game over the past 2 days, it has not only flopped, it served as an opportunity for those who have pre-purchased this game to get a refund because it's just that boring. Now, there always are going to be games journalists trying to hype up messes like this game. You can see...
Okay, can I just point out, this screen grab alone looks like shit. This looks like absolute dog shit. Absolute terrible looking game. If this is one of the avatars, yeah, I believe this is from the actual game. And it looks terrible. This looks ugly as hell. It's like, I think Marathon is not only going to be the third in the trilogy of overly hyped games that crash and burn like hell. I think we're going to be having another Anthem situation. Because this is what happened with Anthem. When Anthem launched years ago, and I was one of them. When the beta launched, I couldn't even play it. I pre-ordered the beta. I pre-ordered Anthem, and because I pre-ordered it, I got access to the beta like a couple months before it launched. I couldn't even play it. When I tried to play Anthem, I couldn't even get past the company logo splash before the whole game crashed. And no one could do anything for me. I couldn't even play it. You know what I did? I canceled my pre-order as soon as that happened. We're seeing that now because people that tried the free demo are now like, fuck this, and canceling their pre-orders. It's literally Concord Part 3 combined with Anthem Part 2. And it's going to be glorious to watch this disaster.
This article saying, sorry haters, but Marathon is looking real good right now. But you'll be shocked that this is pretty much the only positive coverage I've seen, even from games journalists. That tells you how bad this free demo is currently performing. Now you can see right here the absolute drop-off, the cataclysmic drop-off between day 1 and day 2 of this free.
That is almost high guard levels of player-based drop-off. This is like a 60% drop-off. That is a 60% drop-off in player base from day 1 to day 2. As a reminder, high guard's drop-off was 80%. This is like a 60% drop-off in one day. Just one day.
Demo. Day 1 peaking out at about 143,000 in-game players, and today on day 2, sitting around 60,000. They have lost the majority of their audience overnight. And again, this is a free-to-play demo, so people are just simply tuning out. They checked this game out for a little bit and said, wow, I've seen enough, and I'm out of here. Now, this really follows a pattern of Concordian levels of failure. This was predicted by many. You can see this meme once again getting...
By the way, I called this. I said that Marathon was going to be flopping. And I said it was going to be the third in the trilogy of Concord, High Guard, and Marathon. I fucking called this.
A new addition, Concord, eviscerated. High Guard, eviscerated. And we're going to talk about High Guard later in this video because the fate of that franchise has actually gotten even more pathetic. But now we see death knocking at the door of Marathon because things are not looking good right now. And of course, the writing's been on the wall for pretty much the entirety of...
Like this I think is more gameplay footage. Who thought this looked good? Seriously, like I think this is an actual still of gameplay. Who thought this looked good? This looks like shit. These characters look both boring and too busy at the same time. Like, you have these generic faceless kit things with all this shit all over their uniform. Somehow they are both boring and too busy at the same time. The guns look completely uninspired. This looks like a Tinker Toy gun. It literally looks like some kind of child's modular gun that you could buy from Walmart. Like, build your own assault rifle, kids. And this one looks even worse. Like, all of this is just terrible. It's absolutely terrible and looks like crap.
This game and any sort of exposure it's had. In fact, back about a year ago when the gameplay reveal trailer was released, it was getting dislike bombs. People were not impressed. It had more dislikes than likes on this YouTube.
What the f is that?
Pile of shit, sir.
YouTube upload on the official Marathon channel. This is not reinventing the wheel. This was basically just a Fortnite ripoff that looks like it was lost in a time capsule from 2020 or something like that. And you can see right now with the in-game demo count, it's sitting around 60,000 on this second day, and things are simply not getting better. If you look at the overall chart, it just flatlined. That's it. And it's going down. And it's free. Again, this is a free demo, so anything moving downward that fast is very alarming, okay? And in fact, earlier today, if you were looking on the SteamDB site and looking for the top in-game player counts and seeing what games show up, you wouldn't even have seen Marathon. Marathon wasn't even in the top 10. It was getting mogged by games like Stardew Valley and...
Okay. Off topic. This is off topic, but this screen grab reminded me of something. When it comes to like current popular thing in video games. You guys also been hearing about how people are now turning on Arc Raiders? How the player base is starting to turn on Arc Raiders and turn on the devs and say that Arc Raiders is shit now? Yeah, I can't remember if it was for cheating or something, but I did not look into it all that much. But I did see that stuff, like, I think, was it Shroud that said Arc Raiders is shit? If I could be wrong about this. But I think if I'm remembering the tweet I saw, is I think it was Shroud that said like Arc Raiders is like dog shit now. And I think it may have to do with cheaters, that cheaters have become rampant on the game or something to that effect. It's just, or is it they don't like the PvP matchmaking? That could be. Yeah, it's what, like Arc Raiders, which was lauded as being such a fantastic game. Look at the player count. Look at where the player count is now. Arc Raiders came out not too long ago, didn't it? And Arc Raiders is getting beaten out by the wallpaper engine. It's like literally, the Steam wallpaper engine is beating out Arc Raiders. What does that tell you?
Bongo Cat, okay? That's how really abhorrent this situation is, but the copium surrounding this is immense. We're going to be looking at unbelievable levels of cope and excuses for the performance of this
Oh,
free
yeah.
demo. You can see tweets like this saying, people saying the marathon player numbers are dying are brain dead. The server slam started on a Thursday. Just wait for the
Uh-huh.
weekend. Hashtag
Okay.
marathon takeover.
Which, this doesn't work. This logic doesn't work. If you started off with like 100 and what was it? 162,000 players, and then day 2 it drops by 60%. This logic of, oh, it's the server slam. It's the server slam. Yeah, that doesn't work when you actually start with a high player count and literally the next day it drops by 60%. That's not server slam. That's people going, this game sucks. I don't want to play no more. I'm taking my toys and going home. This is cope. Deal with it.
Here's another response saying, OMG, if you have nothing of value to say, just don't speak. Marathon's server slam launched on a random Thursday.
Oh my God. Are they? This is the buzzword. You are going to be hearing for the next week. You are 100% going to be hearing these dumbass SJRs coping and seething and basically just vomiting this word or this expression up over and over and over again. This is their, this is what they're, they've been giving their marching orders and been told to say it's the server slam, it's the server slam, it's the server slam. It's come down the pipeline that the robots have been programmed to just vomit this up over and over again. You're going to hear this a lot, and it's not going to make any difference.
Most people are busy. Stop crying. Well, what about games like Resident Evil Requiem?
Uh-huh.
That released right at the same time as Marathon.
Yes, it did.
Did people just quit their jobs? Was there some sort of a pattern here or some sort of a real phenomenon going on here where basically all of the unemployed people had just enough money to go purchase this game? Because it's peaked out at over 300,000 in...
Point there. Very, very key note of distinction here. Resident Evil has almost 300,000 players in the game, extremely high reviews. Very key note of distinction. You have to pay to play Resident Evil. You have to purchase the game, Resident Evil Requiem. Marathon is a free demo. No money. All you need is hard drive space to download it. And it's maintaining a firestorm of players that are loving it. And it released around the same time as Marathon. Marathon lost 60% of its player base after 24 hours. Paid for? Sweet. Gee. Do we still think it's a server slam, kids?
in-game players. So that excuse about it releasing on a random Thursday is a load of BS. In fact, if you look even further, when you look at the PSN, right, the pre-sale copies there, well, that doesn't really work either because people are saying, well, don't look at SteamDB, you look at the PlayStation numbers. Well, it's sitting at 40th overall right now in terms of pre-sale copies. It's behind Avowed, ladies and gentlemen. That is really bad, okay?
I got a better one for you. It's behind, you guys can't see it because you guys are blocking it. It's behind Borderlands 4. Look at this. It's behind Borderlands 4, which was universally disliked as the worst Borderlands game. And it's behind Borderlands. Hell, it's behind The Sims 4.
Okay. And of course, Due to the nature of this being an extraction shooter, people are comparing it to Arc Raiders, which, despite being released quite some time ago, is completely destroying Marathon in every single sense in terms of active players.
Well, okay. When I was talking about Borderlands 4, the game was not optimized. I've saw reviews for it where Borderlands 4, it ran very choppy. I don't know about the story or anything like that, but as far as the gameplay, it was very, very choppy. A lot of pop-ins. The frame rate was dog shit. It was like in that respect, the mechanics of it were terrible and got just dumpstered on because of that. Uh, okay, so a lot of the issues got fixed for Borderlands 4. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad they fixed the issues, but it's still very rocky start for it.
Marathon in every single sense in terms of active players. And of course, this is also having a weird effect on the game itself in terms of Marathon. As pointed out here, Marathon devs have patched out the term Arc Raiders being censored in-game after clips of players revealing it.
Read me talk about this. I'm pretty sure. No, no, no. I think this was a troll. Like the devs like supposedly did this, but I think the whole thing about Arc Raiders being censored in the game, I think was actually a troll. I'm almost positive that it was a lie. That people saying that Arc Raiders, the word Arc Raiders is being censored in the chat. I'm I'm pretty sure that was a lie and they were trolling the devs, and the devs fell for it.
Yes, if you typed Arc Raiders in chat, your message would be censored.
Okay, open your text chat with enter and type Arc Raiders.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I am incorrect. It actually was being censored. I am incorrect. He just typed Arc Raiders in here, and it got censored. It literally did get censored. Okay, that's just too fucking funny.
What? No.
He was fine. Apex Legends fine, CSGO, Fortnite's fine.
There's no way. There's no way.
Type it
Why
again.
Would that be, is that the rage bait? Is that rage bait?
Arc Raider. Bro,
So as I pointed out earlier, this would be patched out, but people are asking the question, Bungie, why was this something in the first place? Why were you censoring one of your competitors' names in your chat in the first place? Why was that something you had to patch out? That looks really suspicious. And this overall situation, especially with the player numbers, is so bad, and the drop-off is so extreme from day 1 to day 2. Even games journalists like Paul Tassi are looking at this, and they're like, yeah, this is really bad, saying, you're going to yell at me, but this is a very bad trend line heading into tonight's. In fact, a lot of people are simply uninstalling this game.
Look at this. This looks ugly as hell. This absolutely just looks ugly as hell. Why would you want to be a character that looks like this? Like, you've got this thing with the white mask on. This doesn't even look like hair. This looks like a helmet with like a blue undershirt and pink. What am I looking at right now? What the hell am I looking at right now? This is ugly. Absolutely ugly trash.
Okay, they're trying it out. This free demo is not promotion. It is demotion. People are playing it and uninstalling and getting refunds. That is literally what people are doing. This is the entire main purpose of this entire server slam free demo. It's a chance to understand truly how bad this game is, according to many, many people. And Paul Tassi also points out something that a lot of
Look
people
at
agree
this.
with. He says this: I get that we got used to everything in Blender renders and cinematics, but I just don't like these models in game at all.
They look terrible.
Yeah, are you guys
Look at this. Look at how freaking ugly this. Look at the UI. Like, look at the character. Look at the UI. Every part of this is just ugly. None of this, none of what I'm seeing in this in this screen for Marathon looks appealing at all. Is all flat out ugly. The model looks ugly. Look at the blockiness. Look at that. Look at the ugly blockiness here. Like, this character does not look appealing. I would not want this to be my avatar. Look at the interface over here. Oh, plus. What? Look at the text over on the left side. That just looks like freaking ugly, like MS-DOS text. It looks ugly as sin. None of this is appealing. Absolutely none of this looks appealing in any way, shape, or form.
super impressed with this high quality budget of a game here, and this is the results. And people are quick to point out the only thing that sort of appealed to me in the game, and they took away all of her aura from the trailer. So this was from the trailer. Okay, like it, don't like it, whatever. I think it's certainly a lot more visually appealing than
It's interesting.
this.
Wow. Yeah, like this, I don't think this is an attractive character, but it's interesting. I will agree, this is an interesting looking character. Notice keynotes of distinction. Look at how slim she is. Okay? Keynote here. We're seeing the DEI at work. Look at how slim she is. Very slender arms, narrow shoulders, slender but muscular legs. What you tell is a feminine face. And then look at this. This looks like a man. This, and this. Woman, look at the shoulders. Now look at the shoulders. That's a man, baby. They literally made their female character more masculine. That's not a woman. That's a man. Look at the face. Look at the shoulders. Look at the arms again. Look at the arms and the shoulders. Look at the arms and the shoulders. Look at the legs. Look at the legs. Look at the color palette. Look at the color palette from the gloves, the detailing on the shirt, on the chest, the turtleneck, the can strapped here, the legs. You have the detailing on the legs, the boots. Now look here, all gone. That detail work that actually was kind of interesting. God, this is DEI. Marathon literally got DEI'd. And yeah, maybe it's because a lot of this stuff on the model was stolen art. I don't know. I don't remember hearing about any of the models having the stolen art. That's the thing. The stolen art I think was on set pieces. I could be wrong, but I don't remember hearing any of the stolen art being on any of the character models. Only the set pieces in the background. So maybe some of it was on this, but you know what? I don't care. This is more than just the art the art design. This is more than just any like small little art pieces that were on the character. They physically changed the character. They physically made the character manly looking. They took a character that looked like a woman and turned it into a man. DEI for the win, right? These guys are going to DEI themselves all the way to bankruptcy. And oh, I am so here for it. Oh, I am here for it.
I mean, what is this Chungus we're looking at? What happened? She got completely and utterly torn apart. It looks infinitely worse than this.
Yes.
And then we go further with the sort of eyesore of a game that Marathon
Oh, God,
is.
yeah.
Even PC Gamer says this.
Huh?
An absolute eyesore. Marathon's biggest issue seems to be its poor UI design that's confusing players. I have no idea where I'm at. What am I looking at? And here are just some of the examples of people like Ninja, for example, trying to understand what's even happening on their screen.
With 1.2? All right, well.
Boys,
Let me pull that back up real quick. Look at this. This is an informational block right here. Look at how ugly that is. Look at how plain that is. They literally took the Windows blue screen and turned it into a tips button. That's what this is. This is the Windows blue screen as a tips button. Look at how ugly that is. Look at how ugly all of this is. This is all just flat out ugly. Ugly and uninspired. It's just pathetic. And thank you. Oof, shit. Dragon Rider, thank you for the tier 1. And J10, thank you for the 25 gifteds. Thank you so very much, J10. Have a wonderful night's sleep. Thank you so very much. Thank you. The Fallout weapons look better than this. Legit, Fallout weapons look better than this. Because Fallout weapons at least look interesting. These don't look interesting at all. They look boring.
All right, well.
boys, I gotta be honest with you, man. This is hands down one of the most complex, like, menus I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. I have no idea where I'm at, what I'm looking at. Like, I mean, I'm getting it. I'm starting to get it, but, like, there's like a million menus. Armory, vault, loadout, shell select. Shell select is like who your guy is. Loadout.
And Ninja wasn't the only person complaining about this. This seems like a very big complaint, one of many about this game. You can see this post that got a lot of support saying Marathon gotta be the first ever font slop game. There's like 20 different combinations of fonts, boldness levels, sizes, spacing, all caps versus regular caps, all on one menu page. Just an absolute eyesore. They really need to pull back on the whole abstract thing for the UI.
I don't think they were trying to go abstract. I think they were trying to go retro. This feels like Bungie tried to go retro with their UI because, like, oh, everybody likes retro, right? And they were like dialing it back to the old MS-DOS and you know the OG Windows fonts. And they're like, oh yeah, everybody likes retro. We're gonna dial it back. Yeah, they want Windows 3.1. And everybody's like, this is ugly as shit. Like, what the hell am I even looking at?
And this is something that can be fixed, but not by traditional means, as pointed out by Summit here. Basically, if you want to have a more seamless way of navigating on your screen, especially with your UI and changing settings and navigating throughout the menus, you might need to hook up a controller. Yes, that's right. You might have to hook up a controller instead of using your mouse cursor because it's not working. And as pointed out by him in this clip, I'm just describing what he says, but basically, like, can we stop having games that look like you didn't finish them on release? It's absolutely inexcusable for...
Well, it's not have games that look like you didn't finish them on release. Literally stop releasing games that you haven't finished upon release. This has been the meta for corporate game devs lately. They will release on, like, this has been their standard operating procedure. They will release a game unfinished and go, oh, we'll fix it in post. We'll do a day one patch. We'll do a week one patch. But we just got to get it out there because the shareholders are demanding we got to get it out there. So we'll just vomit out what we have and we'll just fix it later. That's been the marching orders for the corporate developers, the corporate game studios now, is just get it out there. Even when it's not finished, get it out there and we'll fix it once it launches. But we have to get a launch out there to please the shareholders because they're demanding record-breaking profits again this year. Even though they've had record-breaking profits for the last 10 years, we need to do record-breaking profits for year 11, and that takes precedence over actually putting together a good game. This is how the AAA studios work now, and it's why I've said over and over and over again, now is the time for the indies. Now is the time for the indie developers to rise, and they are. This is why the independent game devs are spanking the shit out of the AAA studios. This is why the indie game devs are eating the lunch of the big game devs. Because the indie devs are making their games for the love of the game. They want to make a good game and that's all they care about. And when they launch it, it's launched completed and it's launched with the intention of someone having fun, not pushing an agenda. The AAA studios, they answer to shareholders. And their shareholders like, you got a game out. You got to get the game out now. The shareholders demand to get the game out. I don't care if it's fixed or not. Just get it out. I don't care if it looks like crap. Just kind of get it out because we want a return on our investment. And that's how these corpos work now. That's why everything put out by these corporate game devs is absolute dog shit and why they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars. While the small little indie game devs that are putting out a $20 game are rolling in it and eating the AAA studios lunch. And I love it. I love seeing it.
For Bungie to put out stuff like this. But of course, more people were here to criticize. This one says, this game is awful, bro. Never seen a worse UI. The guns feel like crap. Looting takes 10 years because it's not obvious what anything is, and enemy players look like AI. And I've heard that a lot, that people literally cannot differentiate between enemy players and AI. It's like actually like hard to tell the difference. It's very confusing. But look at the very solid criticism provided by these defenders of Marathon. They tell the same user, hopefully you end up homeless and starving. And this person says, or lying on the freeway.
Jesus!
So hoping this person's life is ruined.
God, dear God, these people are. This is like that one freak show that was coming after me on Twitter today, claiming that I loved Ubisoft. Like, these Twitter freaks are out of fucking control. Seriously, they're out of fucking control right now.
Or ended because they dared to criticize Bungie. Totally normal response. Now, there are some people defending this game, including the Burnt Peanut. We talked about him a couple times.
Here we go.
He's obviously a really huge streamer right now. He's been running defense for Marathon quite hard and basically saying, shut up if you don't like this game and give it a chance. And here's what he had to say.
This game is garb, hot trash. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at me. I'm hating on the new game right when it released. I'm the coolest. Look, I'm hating on the new game as soon as it releases. I'm part of the cool crowd. Dude, shut up! That happens with every game!
Really? Peanut? Didn't seem to happen with Resident Evil. You know, while you're screaming, it happens with every game.
So that was a fucking lie.
No, it doesn't. It does not happen with every game. It doesn't happen with the games where the developers actually take care with making the game. It's, again, isn't happening with Resident Evil. Resident Evil's going like gangbusters. It's not happening with all these other indie games that are recently launching that people are absolutely loving. It's happening with every quote unquote AAA studio game. Interesting that the game that he wants to play, that he's going to be playing on stream, interesting how he's so ardently defending it. How much did Bungie pay him to play the game? How much did Bungie pay him to talk up about the game? I'm kind of curious. Does he have a little sponsorship deal with Bungie to play this and to glaze it up? I wonder. I don't know. It's awfully suspicious though that he's flipping his shit like this when people are saying that Marathon is a shit game. When looking at the UI looks like shit. You have Ninja, who has been around fucking forever and a day, and is saying the UI looks like hot garbage. Ninja's saying that. He's been around a fuckload more than Peanut. So why is Peanut losing his shit like this when people are saying that Marathon looks like and plays like a shit game? When all the other professional streamers and gamers are saying the exact same thing. Why is he suddenly losing his shit like this and screaming? It happens with every game. Wonder how much. Wonder if Bungie might be paying him a little bit, giving him a little bit of a sponsorship. Like, hey, Peanut, play our game and really glaze it up, and fight back against anybody that doesn't like it. Have to wonder if that might be happening.
Literally, the game you're telling me to go play Arc Raiders, you literally did it to as well! On day one!
I have a question about that, and I'm like Peanut. I'm not going to scream like a fucking maniac. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but wasn't Arc Raiders actually quite well received when it launched? I don't recall there being a great deal of hate for Arc Raiders when it launched. To my recollection, Arc Raiders was quite well received. To my recollection. Like, sure, I'm guessing you had the Tarkov fans that were like, oh, it's, the Tarkov fans because they love Tarkov. But in general, it was when it launched, people seemed to really enjoy it right off the jump, honestly. So I'm going to call bullshit on that. There's always going to be hate. Like, I do not doubt that any new game launch will receive hate. I don't doubt that. Literally every game that ever launches will get hate. Absolutely. But generally speaking, Arc Raiders was, pretty well received at launch. You had some haters. Obviously, the Tarkov guys didn't like it. But general public seemed to enjoy Arc Raiders reasonably well. Even if there was hate, there was not this level of this game is dog shit that Marathon's getting. Even if Arc Raiders did get some hate when it launched, as is natural, it was nowhere in the realm of what Marathon's getting. So this is me think the Lenog is does protest too much.
Shut up! You literally did the same thing to Ark, and that's what you're telling me to go play!
Guys, I'm going to hit you with a splash of cold water right now. I'm going to wake you up. This is a paid promotion. Okay, I'm
shit.
like 9...
What did I say? What did I say? Huh? Yeah, people love the bash on me when I was calling shit out on Peanut before. What did I fucking say? Huh? What? I say it? Reb says it right afterwards. 'Cause it's obvious. That's the thing. This is obvious. He made it painfully obvious that it is more likely than not that he's being paid by Bungie to promote it. Painfully obvious. And I'm sorry, if you don't think he's being paid to promote it, I'm sorry, you need to take an IQ test, because if it's right in your face and you can't see it, I can't help you.
99% sure, okay? Unless he comes out and flat out says it, I won't say 100%, but it's very obvious what's going on here, okay? I think everyone understands why he is trying to hype this game up so much on his streams. I get it. I understand. He's going for a bag. That's the way it is. But you know what? Chill out a little bit, man. Like, you had us laughing with the Hassan beef recently. I appreciate him getting under the skin of Hassan, but, you know, let's not be lying to ourselves here when we say his opinion about Marathon is not artificial or in any way influenced by the possibility of a paid promotion. In fact, even idiots like myself are getting sponsorship opportunities from Bungie, which is really a testament to their screening process, because for almost 2 years...
No, Red, you mispronounced desperation. I know, it's understandable. There's a lot going on right now. This is desperation. They probably... Actually, ironically enough, I don't think I've received this sponsorship offering. But this is literally Bungie probably contacted Twitch and said, okay, give us every streamer that has above X amount of viewers. And they just emailed them and said, hey, please play our game. Please play our game. We'll give you money. Won't you please play our game? This is flat out desperation on Bungie's part.
Years, I've been crapping all over this game in Bungie. I literally have no idea how I would end up with any sort of a paid sponsorship to promote their game. It seems totally tone deaf. But speaking of tone deaf, okay, people are trying their best to defend Marathon and Bungie. Here's one of the many tweets saying this. This era of gaming where people want to hate and cancel new games is the most cringe stuff I've ever seen. What happened to the days of just playing games you enjoy and not playing games you don't like?
They went away when the game devs not only jacked the prices of the games to the moon, but then also microtransaction the living shit out of players. That's what happened to the days of just playing games you enjoy and not playing games you don't like. When the studios are milking their players for every dime with bullshit DLC and absolute shit gameplay in the first place that people are paying $60, $70, $80 for, yeah, that mentality goes out the window. People actually care about how much money that they're spending these days, and they don't want to spend $60, $70, $80 for an absolute dog shit game. Because they just spent that $60, $70, $80, and now they've got a piece of crap game that they played it by the time they, gave it a chance, by the time that chance is over, well, the return window is gone, and they're now out that money. And people care a lot about the money that they make these days because everything is so pricey. So yeah, that's what happened to the days of just playing what you like and don't playing games that you don't.
Growing up, went to Blockbuster, try games out, return if you didn't like, no mass hate sprees.
Okay. Was this gentleman born stupid, or is he just a professional? Because going to Blockbuster and buying a game and then returning if you don't like it is completely different from spending $60, $70, $80 to buy the game, not like it, and now be stuck with it. This is absolutely professional levels of stupidity. There is no such thing as renting a game anymore. I'm sorry, this isn't the 1990s anymore. You can't go to a Blockbuster and try a game over the weekend for $3 or $5. They don't exist anymore. You can't rent games like this anymore. You can only buy them. So this is a stupidity on a level that can only be ascribed to as being a paid journalist and a paid shill. That is the only way someone could possibly say something this fucking stupid in this day and age.
Not every FPS needs to be a COD killer. Not every new hero shooter needs to be a rival slash Overwatch killer.
And people don't want that.
More variety of games, the better. Not every game you play has to be the biggest or the most popular.
No, but it needs to be fun. You're correct. Not every game needs to be a COD killer. People actually don't want the next COD killer. Not every Euro shooter needs to be a Rivals or Overwatch killer. Correct. People are not actually looking for that. You know what people are looking for? A game that's fun. Variety of games is good, but the game has to be fun. If your game isn't fun, nothing else matters because people are not going to buy it. This is like absolute third grader logic right here I'm talking about. This is the logic that third graders understand. Is it fun? No. Do you want to keep playing it? No. That's a third grader. Is it fun? Yes. Do you want to keep playing it? Yes. Again, that's a third grader. This dumbass does not even have the logic capacity of a third grader. That's how fucking stupid these people are right now.
I think the criticism people are providing is that this game seems somewhat unfinished, it's unpolished, it's confusing, it's ugly, and it's not fun to play. In fact, it's getting the nickname Marathon, ironically enough, because you have to run a marathon to find other players in the game to actually engage with. Because that...
Oh my god, it's another high guard in that respect. So not only do we have Concord Part 3, we have High Guard Part 2, where you can't even find an enemy to shoot. They couldn't have they couldn't have fucked this up more if they tried. This is a special kind of failure. This is truly a special kind of failure.
That's what's going on, and people have higher expectations. That's how it works. Okay, we're in 2026, and it seems like gaming is devolving in quality. That is concerning.
Only by AAA games.
Good, especially when there's such a high price for games nowadays. I'm glad people are critical. We should not just accept slop. You know, buy the slop, consume the slop, and shut up. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Here's another one saying, Marathon is another perfect example of people asking for something new, and when it comes, they hate it.
Will, someone received the latest patch of their programming. Yeah, the show, I don't even know who this is. I'm guessing it's a games journalist. Yeah, so Avatar, whatever the fuck their name is. So they received the latest DLC from their overlords to put out, shell current product using same methodology as last time. Execute. This is so pathetic.
This person, I guess, is referring to themselves when they said it about High Guard. And I remember covering this exact tweet when High Guard came out. And I think they're making a joke. It's self-deprecation, having a sense of humor about it. But this is...
I don't. I don't think this is self-deprecating humor. I can't trust on that. These people are so brain rotted and are so desperate to have an in with these companies. I legitimately think that I think that this post here could potentially be legitimate. That this person is desperately shilling for Marathon. And just repeating what they said about High Guard because that's the marching orders that they were given. So yeah, I think that this person may be genuine in this post. And they were hoping that people wouldn't have captured the identical post that they made about High Guard last month.
Unironically, what some people say about games like High Guard and Marathon. And obviously, they did not reinvent the wheel. There's nothing new here. It is a clone of everything from the extraction shooter genre, and it's just not bringing anything exciting and new to the table. And that's as simple as that. Now, you see this tweet right here saying this marathon situation feels eerily similar to what happened with Highguard. Suddenly, a bunch of accounts pop up aggressively defending it, hurling the same tired insults at critics, cope, hater, etc., without ever explaining why they think the game is good. The defenders are pulling the exact same excuses they use for Highguard. Man, if you didn't sink at least 40 hours into it, you didn't even really play the game. Real gamers can spot a dud straight from the trailer and are rarely wrong, let alone the 2+ hours I put into it. Now, of course, that Highguard comparison is something I've been hinting at, and Marathon has come out on their official account saying Marathon's team is absolutely watching and listening and taking in all the feedback. We do care. That sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Yeah, I had a streamer saying that today you need to play it a while before it gets good. Yeah, guess what? That excuse doesn't work anymore. That excuse has been getting used for every flop for probably the last at least minimum 5 years. For at least the last 5 years, every game that is flopped, the shills come out and say, well, you've got to play it for a while, and it gets good for a while, and that's not how a good game works. A good game is fun right off the jump. Maybe you have a moment where you go through a tutorial where it's kind of like a little dromy and boring when you're learning how to play the game. But once you're into the game proper, the game is good. Like, good games actually are fun from the very beginning. This excuse of, oh, you got to play it for a while and then it gets good, nobody buys that. No, nobody has bought that for the last 5 years. That's why we have seen flop after flop after flop after flop after flop for years. Like the slow start for Red Dead Redemption 2, that slow start was the tutorial. There was a purpose for why it was such a slow start. It was number one, it was the tutorial. Number two, it was the backstory. It was like Red Dead Redemption 2 was setting up the story before you jumped into the game proper. It was kind of like an interactive cinematic event that was not only teaching you how to play the game, but also immersing you in the story. That's why it worked. That's precisely why it worked. That is different from you need to play the game for X amount of hours just to start having fun. Nobody buys that anymore. Nobody buys those games anymore. And that's why the AAA industry is dying. That's why Ubisoft died. That is why we're seeing that's why we're seeing Activision dying. That's why we're seeing Bungie dying. Because they still can't get it through their heads that a game has to be fun from the beginning in order for people to buy it and enjoy it. And when they don't do that, they lose hundreds of millions of dollars and their studios get shuttered and their employees get fired. Highguard is now down to 20 employees. The studio that does Highguard has fired everyone except for 20 people. There are now 20 people only working on Highguard. That's it. The studio will close. Highguard will shut down. The servers will shut down. The studio is going to close. That is what is going to happen because they keep making games that no one wants to play.
Care. That sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically what Highguard said. How's Highguard doing?
There it is.
Well, at the current time, as of today, there is less
we
than
read about
20
that.
staff remaining at Highguard Studio Wildlight Entertainment. They pretty much eviscerated the entire studio.
Yeah.
This was the game that, by the way, was going to own the chuds just like everything else. It was going to prove all the haters wrong. Well, look at it today. This game released basically a month ago to the day.
Oh God, look at the player count. Hang on, I'm legit curious what the current player count is. Holy shit, hang on. What is the current player count for Highguard? Current player count right now is 512. Let me pull it. Current player count for High Guard, 512. 24-hour peak, 501, 551. That's High Guard. The flat line. It's dead, Jim. 1 month. Every single player, they've lost all their players. In 1 month. Hell, they lost most of their players way back like when it started, but there's no one playing. And bearing in mind, this is a free game. High Guard is a free game, and it's dead in a month. Yeah.
It has 400 in-game players. This is a free-to-play game. This is an absolute bloodbath.
And what's so funny is I watched Angry Joe's review on it, and while he did call out the bad shit for it, he did try and like give it a little bit of props. There was no saving this game. It was DOA. 100% DOA. And I'm pretty sure I said, like, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure I called that the servers would shut down in a month and probably the studio would be shuttered. We're getting close. We'll see how much longer High Guard lasts. I got a feeling it's going to be done extremely soon.
You know, there's Concord. Nothing's ever going to top Concord. But this has got to be like a close second. Due to the scale of this game, the investment into this game, the fact it's free to play. I mean, look at the drop-off.
Yep.
Peaking out at the beginning, nearly 100K, and just flatlining to almost nothing. To literally almost nothing. It's insane. Now, while we're on the topic of games that are going to have Concordian levels of failure, we got stuff to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen, especially with PlayStation here. Fair games. Don't forget about fair games. I am counting down the days until this is released. This is.
By the way, something I should point out, this may be a lie because I saw something of an article saying that PlayStation games are going to start doing exclusivity again, and that games released on PS5 are not going to be releasing on PC. Heartbreakingly enough, the Wolverine game coming out may be one of them. I may not be able to play Wolverine on stream because it may not be available for PC. It may be PlayStation exclusive. And I think Sony's starting to do that more of that, where they're going back to PlayStation exclusive games and will not be releasing on PC. Yeah. So this may change to coming to PS5 and this perk being eliminated. Well, it got later released. It was a PlayStation exclusive and then later got released on Xbox and PC. Now they're backtracking and saying we're going to make it exclusive to our console only, and we're not going to be releasing it on other platforms. It will only be on our platform.
Going to be an absolute flop fiesta. This one might take the cake. This is going to be an absolute banger. A banger of a time covering this. In case you're not familiar, this is a game. I'll play the trailer in the background a little bit. This is a game where basically you eat the rich. Yeah, PlayStation said, how do you do, fellow poor people? Here's a game about eating the rich, but don't.
No. Not how do you do. How do you do, fellow SJRs? This is literally a game made for the SJRs. Who, the ones that go, tax the rich, take all the money for the rich, take all the money from the rich. That's who this game is made for. It's made for the reeing masses that hate rich people and don't play video games. That's who this is made for. No one else. It is deliberately being marketed to the SJRs. Which they are not going to purchase it. And this is going to die. It is going to crash and burn just like all the rest.
Need us, the rich, who are making this game and publishing it. Yeah, it's extremely ridiculous. This game looks like it should have been released in 2020, and that would have been the only shot it had at success, and it's going to be an absolute omega flop.
Oh,
and
yeah.
before I close out this video, just want to let you guys know, I did my revamp on Patreon. It's been about a month since the revamp. Really a whole new purpose to it. Lots of new bonus content. My third Patreon exclusive video is
I am not rich. I am very comfortable. I am not rich. I am comfortable. I am very pleasantly comfortable. Largely thank you very much to all of you guys and how wonderful you are. But no, I am not rich. Oh. You're doing the quote to Pokemon. I see. Okay. Next time actually put the quotation marks in there so I know you're quoting.
to it. Lots of new bonus content. My third
Exclusive? Sounds like great recruitment material for my adventure for the emulator islands.
I'd be careful about that. The console companies do tend to have a problem with that, especially Nintendo.
really a whole new purpose to it. Lots of new bonus content. My third Patreon exclusive video is now live as of today. I'll put a link to that, and you can check out the rest of my page with that link in the pinned comment and description. Lots of exclusive content, React, stuff like that. I plan on weekly uploads over there and other exclusive content. So make sure if you want to
No
check
idea,
that out
Bolts.
and
It's someone from
greatly
his
support the
Patreon.
channel, check out those links and enjoy the exclusive content that you'll only find there. That's something that
You
I'm
heard her,
having a
guys.
really
Time for a Get Ember Rich Fund.
Stop it! Stop it!
fun time with and people are enjoying. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, this is, when Marathon goes live, watching it just go straight down the shitter is going to be so much fun. I